Let's be honest, in today's world, we're all drowning in digital documents. You've got PDFs, Word files, spreadsheets, maybe even audio recordings. They just pile up. And trying to find that one key piece of information can feel completely impossible. So what if you could build your very own smart assistant to read, understand, and summarize all of it for you?
Well, in this explainer, that's exactly what we're going to break down. We'll kick things off with the problem, what I'm calling the modern document dilemma. Then we'll introduce an open-source solution, VoiceLoop HR. We're going to peek inside its AI engine, check out the developer's toolkit that makes it all possible, and finally, look at what's coming next on the roadmap.
Okay, so let's set the stage here. The real problem is just chaos. We've got all this crucial information, but it's scattered everywhere across tons of different files, and we desperately need a way to make sense of it all without spending days or even weeks manually sifting through everything.
And to really get the goal, you just have to look at this quote from the project's creator. The vision was never just about storing files. Nope, it's about creating a system that can actively understand them, transcribe them, and then use AI to pull out the most important bits.
And you know, this challenge isn't unique to just one company. It doesn't matter if you're in HR, research, or pretty much any field, you're dealing with this. You've got all these different file types, you always need insights like yesterday, and the whole manual process is just a massive bottleneck. What you really need is a single, unified system to cut right through all that noise.
So, now that we've laid out the problem, let's turn to the solution we're looking at today. It's an open-source project designed to tackle this exact thing head-on, and it's called VoiceLoop HR.
At its heart, VoiceLoop HR is pretty much what it says on the tin. It's an intelligent platform. It's been built from the ground up to take in all those different HR documents and use the power of AI to pull out that valuable info that's hidden deep inside.
And this isn't just some proof of concept. It's built on a really modern and super robust foundation. Using tools like Next.js and TypeScript, well, that tells you it's designed from day one to be fast, reliable, and ready to scale as things get bigger and more demanding.
All right, now for the really fun part. Let's pop the hood and see what makes this AI engine tick. How does it actually go from being a messy pile of documents to providing real, actionable insights? So the platform is incredibly versatile. It's not picky. It can handle multiple file formats, everything from text to audio. For its brain, it uses OpenAI's really powerful GPT-4 model, and it even has voice integration for transcription. And the best part? All of this is wrapped up in a clean, modern interface that's actually a pleasure to use. But here's where it really shines. It's how it uses that AI. It's not a one-trick pony. It can summarize those ridiculously long documents, it lets you ask questions directly about the content, and it can transcribe audio using the Whisper API. But honestly, the real game changer here is the embedding generation for semantic search. What that means is you can search for ideas and concepts, not just exact keywords. That is a massive leap forward in actually finding what you need. But you know, all that power doesn't mean a thing if the tool is a pain to use. And that's what this slide is all about, a critical design choice. They really focused on the user experience. You've got simple drag-and-drop uploads, real-time progress bars so you know what's happening, and a design that just works, whether you're on a big desktop or your phone. It's built for people, not just for machines. So, what does it actually take to build a tool like this? For all of you out there who are curious about the nuts and bolts, let's dive into the developer's toolkit that's powering VoiceLoop HR. On the front end, no surprises here, you see Next.js and Tailwind CSS, a really common and powerful combo. The backend is running on Node.js and Next.js API routes, and it talks directly with the OpenAI API. And for the dev tools, there's a real emphasis on speed and code quality with things like PNPM and ESLint.
Whoa, okay, this language breakdown tells a really interesting story. A staggering 95% of the codebase is in TypeScript. Now, that's not just a style choice. That's a serious commitment to building a more reliable, error-resistant, and maintainable application. It's all about catching potential problems before they ever become headaches.
And you know, because this is an open-source project, getting it up and running yourself is surprisingly easy. It's really just a four-step process. Clone the code, install the dependencies, plug in your OpenAI API key, and fire up the development server. That's it.
Now, this project is far from finished. It's actively growing and evolving. So let's take a quick look at the official roadmap to get a sense of where VoiceLoop HR is headed next.
This roadmap really shows the ambition behind the project. You can see the evolution, right? Q1 was all about building that core engine. Q2 is focused on making it enterprise-ready,
with better security and performance. And then, by Q3, the goal is to expand it into a true platform with multi-tenant support, so multiple companies can use it securely, and even an API marketplace. It's a clear journey from a cool tool to a full-blown ecosystem.
Right now, in the immediate future, the team is laser-focused on making that core engine, the smart parser, even smarter. This means going way beyond simple text extraction. We're talking about true content intelligence, teaching the AI to automatically figure out what kind of document it's looking at and identify key things like names, dates, and companies all on its own.
And all of this brings us to one final big question to chew on. A project like VoiceLoop HR proves that building these sophisticated AI tools is getting more and more accessible. So, as that trend continues, are we heading for a future where every single organization, big or small, is going to need its own custom smart parser just to manage its own unique universe of information? It's definitely something to think about.